Good evening, sir. You can start now, sir.
Madam, can you make me host?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, good evening, students. So in the last class, we have studied the concept of the refraction through a prism. And also we have studied that the concept of the prism formula, angle of deviation, and also for the deviation due to a thin prism. Now, let me take up the concept of the meaning of dispersion. Now, if I considered a prism, on this prism, if I incident a white light, this is the normal. Now the white light is going to split into 7 different colors. You know that is the Vibgayar. This is white light. This is a violet color. And this is the red color. The extreme colors are violet and the red. The violet and the red. The violet and the red. In the absence of this prism, this ray would travel along straight, right? This is called the deviation for red. This is called the deviation for violet. Yeah. You know that the deviation for violet color is more than the deviation of red color. Deviation of violet is more than the deviation of red color. This splitting up of white light Can you see the screen sharing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the splitting up of this white light into constituent colors is what we called as the dispersion. So the dispersion is nothing but splitting up of what?
So white light.
Yeah. Splitting up of white light into constituent colors is what we called as the dispersion. In that, deviation is more than for violet compared to other colors. Now, if you know what is the angular separation between the two colors, angular separation between the two colors, this is what we called as angular dispersion. What is angular dispersion? Angular dispersion is the difference between the deviations of any two colors. The angular separation between the two colors, that is dV minus dr, is called as angular dispersion. So what is angular dispersion? dV minus dr. What is deviation for violet? NV minus 1 into A. You know the deviation for thin prism is given by N minus 1 into A. What is deviation for red color? NR minus 1 into A. So what is the angular dispersion? NV minus NR. If you take out A as common term, A is common, right? NV minus 1 minus R minus NR, minus of minus will be plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled out. So left out term will be NV minus NR. So what is the formula for the angular dispersion? NV minus NR into A. And one more important, this thing you have to remember, that is a dispersive power. Dispersive power is usually denoted by the symbol omega. That omega is just the angular dispersion ratio of what? Angular dispersion.
So by mean deviation.
Yeah, very good. Divided by the mean deviation. Angular dispersion to the mean deviation is called as dispersive power. So angular dispersion is nothing but, you know that, deviation for violet minus deviation for red, whole thing divided by. What is mean deviation? How to take the mean deviation for two colors? dV plus dr, whole thing divided by what?
So dV plus dr by 2.
Yeah, that is the mean deviation. So this is the dispersive power. So dispersive power is the ratio of angular dispersion to the mean deviation. So these are the two important concepts you have to remember, that is dispersion and angular dispersion and dispersive
So dispersive power.
power. Yeah. So any doubt related to these two topics?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Let me solve the objective question based on this chapter, based on prism.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Look at the first question.
Yes, sir.
Light rays or incident. Light rays or incident on a prism, right?
Yes, sir.
At what angle?
45 degrees.
Minimum deviation is obtained. What is the refractive index?
√2, sir.
Yeah. Refractive index is given √2. Angle of the incidence is 45 degree. You have to find what is the angle of the prism, right?
Yes, sir.
Now clearly in the problem they are talking minimum deviation. Minimum deviation
Yes,
means
sir.
A should
Sir.
be equal to 2R.
Yes, sir.
For minimum deviation, A should be equal to 2R.
Yes, sir.
So A is equal to 2R means to find the angle of the prism, you have to obtain what?
Sir, R.
R. To obtain the R, just you apply the Slins law. N is equal to what?
So sin I by sin R.
Sin I divided by sin R. So N is equal to what? √2 into what is I?
So sin 45 by sin R.
By sin R. So √2 equals to what is sin 45?
So 1 by √2.
1 by 2.
1 by √2.
So 1 by √2, sir.
Yeah. Sin R in the denominator as it is. So you can cross multiply. If I cross multiply this sin R to this side and I will cross multiply √2 this side. So what will happen? Sin R will be 1 divided by √2 into √2 will be how much? √2 into √2 will be 2, no?
So 2, sir.
So sin R will be 1 by 2. Sin R is 1 by 2. So what will be R value then? For which
Sir.
angle in sine function it is equal to?
Sir, 30, sir. 30 degrees. So R
Yeah,
will be
30
30
degree.
degrees.
So R equals to 30 degree. If R equals to 30 degree, you just substitute this R here. So what is clearly
Sir,
A equals to
60
then?
degrees, sir. 60
2
degrees.
into 30 degree.
60
So
degrees.
angle of the
Opposite
prism must be equal to what?
60 degrees.
60 degree. So angle of the prism must be 60 degree. So option D is correct. So option D is correct. Let us take up the next problem. Angle of minimum deviation you have to find, capital D. What is the refractive index they have given? 1.5. That is equal to the what? That is equal to what?
So angle of prism.
Angle of the prism. Then they are asking what is the angle of the prism. Angle of the prism is asking, but they're telling that A and D are equal.
Yes, sir.
Angle of prism and angle of minimum deviation are equal. What is n value they have given? 1.5.
So 1.5, sir.
So what is prism formula? N equals to
So, sine of A plus D by 2 by
A plus D by 2 whole
sine
thing divided by
sine A by 2, sir.
sine of A by 2. So n value is given, that is how much? 1.5 sine of A I will keep as it is. Shall I write it as capital D as A only?
Yes, sir.
Because deviation is equal to what?
Sir, angle of prism.
Angle of the prism. So whole thing divided by sine of A by 2. So 1.5 is equal to sine A plus A will be 2A. 2A by 2 will be sine A. So sine A divided by sine A by 2. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, you know off angle formula, right? What
Yes,
is
sir.
sine 2 theta formula?
Sir, 2 sine theta cos theta.
Yeah. If it is only sine theta, 2 sine theta by 2 into
Sir,
cos theta by 2, no?
yes, sir.
If it is 2 theta off of this, off of this. If it is theta here, what is off of that? Theta by 2, no? If the angle is theta here, you have to write off of that. Theta by 2, theta by 2. So in the same way, you can tell what is the formula for sine A? We can replace this sine A by what?
So
2
sine
sine
A
A
can
by
be
2 cos
replaced
A
by,
by 2.
yes, sir.
Very good. 2
Sir,
sine A by 2 into cos
cos
A
A
by
by
2. Whole thing divided by what?
so
Sine A
sine
by
A
2.
by 2.
So sine A by 2, sine A by 2 will get cancelled out. So 1.5 divided by 2 will be equal to cos A by 2. What is 1.5 by 2? 0.75. So equals to cos A by 2. What is A by 2 apart from this equation? If I shift this cos to the LHS, it becomes what?
So
Cos
cos
inverse
inverse
of
of,
0.75.
yes, sir.
Yeah. You know that cos inverse 0.75 is given as 41 degree. What is cos 41 degree? 0.75. So A by 2 should be equal to cos inverse 0.75 can be taken as how much? 41 degree. So what is 41 into 2?
So 82 degrees, sir.
82 degrees. So which is the right option?
So option C.
Option C. Got it? Any doubt in this problem?
No, sir.
Yeah. Look at this. What is the angle of the prism?
Sir,
60°.
60°.
What is refractive index equal to?
1.414, sir.
Shall I take this 1.414
Sir,
as
root 2,
root
sir.
2?
Yes, sir.
They are asking what will be the angle of incidence? I. If the ray
Yes, sir.
passes symmetrically. Symmetrically means it is under minimum deviation. Symmetrically means minimum deviation. Yeah. What is the angle of incidence for minimum deviation, Appa? A plus D by 2, no?
2, sir. Yes, sir.
So what is the angle of incidence for minimum deviation? A
Sir,
plus
A plus B
D
by 2.
by 2. Okay. So what is your prism formula?
Sir, sine of A plus D by 2 divided by sine
A
of A
plus
by 2.
D by 2. Whole thing divided by what? Sine A by 2. I will keep n as it is. Sine. Shall I replace A plus D by 2 as what? Shall I replace A plus D by
Sir,
2 as
sine I,
I?
sir. Sine I.
Yeah. What will be the denominator? Sine of
Sir,
A by
sine
2.
of A by 2, sir.
What is n value?
Sir, n is root 2. 1.412.
N equals to root 2. So sine I will keep as it is. What is A value? 60 value. So 60 by 2. 30.
30, sir.
Yeah. On cross multiplication, sine I is equal to root 2 into sine 30. No.
Yes, sir.
So
So
sine I
sine I
is
is
equal
equal to
to
root 2 into 1 by 2.
sine 30 is 1 by 2. 1 by
Yes,
2.
sir.
2
Yes,
can be
sir.
taken as root 2 into root 2.
Yes, sir. So it will be root 2. Sine I is equal to root 2. I is equal to sine inverse of root 2, sir.
It is 1 by root 2.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. 1 by root 2, sir. I is
Because
sine
2 is
inverse
in the
of.
denominator.
Yes, sir.
So denominator 2 becomes root 2 into root 2. So
Yes,
on
sir.
cancelling with root 2,
Yes, sir.
1 by root 2.
Yes,
So
sir.
sine I is 1 by root 2. So I
Sir.
will be equal to what? Sine
So
inverse
sine
1 by
inverse
root
of
2
1
means
by
what angle?
45 degrees, sir.
So which is the right option?
C, sir.
C. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. Look at this problem. What is the refractive index of the prism?
Sir, that
1.5.
so 1.5, sir.
Refracting angle. What is refracting angle?
Sir, 30 degrees.
30 degrees. Angle of the prism is 30 degree. So refracting angle is 30 degree here. Deviation of monochromatic ray is incident.
So normally, sir,
Normally.
angle of incidence is 0, sir.
Very good. Very good. Normally on one surface. You have to find what is the deviation. Yeah. Now, first I1 is 0, no? R1 must be 0, no?
Yes, sir.
Why I1 and R1 are 0? Because it is incident normally on one surface. If you want the diagram, I can write the diagram like this. This is the prism. A ray of light is incident normally on the first surface. So here I1 value is 0. R1 value is 0. Now this is incident at one angle I2. Here the refraction will take place. This is equal to R2. Sorry, this is, you can take R2 and this you can take it as I2 as per the formula, as per the concepts. Now, for this case, what is the formula for deviation? What's the formula for deviation? It is not a minimum deviation. It is a normal deviation. What is the normal deviation?
So I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2, sir. That is A.
That R1 plus R2 is A, no?
Yes, sir.
So please remember, deviation is I1 plus I2 minus A. D equals to I1 is 0, right?
Yes, sir.
We don't know what is I2.
Yes, sir.
Minus A. A is refracting angle, that is how much?
30 degrees, sir.
30 degrees. But how to find I2? Write the Snell's law for this case. Refractive index of this prism is N. So N equals to sine
So
I2
sin
by
I by sin
R2, no?
R2, sir.
Sine I2 by sine R2. What is N value they have given? .52 divided by sine R2. What is R2? You know that A equals to R1 plus R2. A is 30 degree, R1 value is 0 plus R2. What is R2 here? What is R2?
30 degrees.
30 degrees. So you know what is cross multiplication here? You can do the cross multiplication. So sine I2 equals to 1.5 into sine 30. Sine I2 equals to 1.5 into sine 30. So sine I2 equals to sine 1.1 by 2, no? What is 1.5 into 1 by 2? 0.75. So sine I2 is 0.75. Look at this. They have given one condition here. Sine 48 degree 36 minutes is 0.75. So what should be I2 value then? 48 degree 36 minutes. So I can substitute I2 here. 48 degree 36 minutes, right? 48 degree 36 minutes. So deviation is equal to 48 degree 36 minutes minus 30 degree no minutes. So I can write it as 0 minutes. So deviation is equal to 36 minutes minus 0 minutes. 36 minutes. 48 degree minus 30 degree. 18 degree. So what is the deviation? 18 degree 36 minutes. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Can you do this? Try once. What is the angle of the prism? What is the angle of the prism?
So angle of the prism is 30 degrees.
30 degree. What is the refractive index?
Root 2.
Root 2. One of the surfaces.
Silver, sir.
Yeah. At what angle of incidence a ray? What angle? I1
I1, sir.
should be incident on one surface, so that reflection from the silvered face retraces the path.
Yes, sir.
Retraces the path. Let me write the diagram first.
So that means that I2 at the silver surface is 90 degrees, sir.
A I2 is 0.
Sir, yes, sir. So it's normal, sir, to the silver
So it
surface.
is not
I2 will
90.
be-
It is 0, no?
Yes, sir. Normal, so it will be 0, sir. I2.
Yeah. This is silvered.
Yes, sir.
If I incident a ray of light at one face, at one particular angle, let it be I1. Now this is going and this will be what? R1. From the silver surface, it is going to retrace back. When it retraces back, no R2 value, no I2 value, right? I2 value will be 0, R2 value will be 0.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they're expecting you to find I1. Just have a look. If I say N is the refractive index, can you apply what is the Snell's law for this? N equals to
So sin I1 by sin R1, sir.
sin I1 by sin R1. You know what is N value, right?
So root 2.
Root 2. You have to calculate I1, let it be,
Yes, sir.
retain that as it is, into sine. We don't know what is R1. But R1 I can take it as 30 degree only. Because you know angle of the prism is R1 plus R2, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What is
So
angle of the
R1
prism? 30 degree.
Yes, sir.
R1 is, we don't know. What is R2?
0, sir.
So what is R1 value?
30 degrees.
Yeah. So R1 I substituted as 30. Cross multiply. Sine I1 is equal to root 2 into sine 30, no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is sine 30?
Sir, 1 by 2.
Yeah. Root 2 into 1 by 2. This 2 can be taken as root 2 into root 2.
Yes, sir.
So this finally sine I1 will be 1 by root 2. So can you tell what is I1?
So I1 will be, so sine inverse of 1 by root 2, which is 45 degrees, sir.
So I1 will
Option C.
be 45 degree, right?
Yes, sir. Option C, sir.
Yeah. You please try this. What is refracting angle of the prism? A.
So A, sir.
Refractive index N is equal to what?
So cot A by 2.
Cot A by 2. Yeah. You simplify for angle of minimum deviation. Minimum deviation, you know.
So minimum deviation. So can we use the formula, sir?
So minimum deviation will be equal to what?
So N minus 1 into A.
Yeah, just you make use of prism formula. N equals to what?
So sine A plus D by 2 divided by sine A by 2.
Yeah. N can be taken as what? N is nothing but what? Cot A by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Instead of writing cot A by 2, shall I directly write cos A by 2 by sin A? Cos A by 2 by sin A by 2?
Yes, sir.
Denominator is sin A by 2.
Yes, sir.
You can cancel with sin A by 2, sin A by 2.
So no, sir, because it's this side.
No.
So yes, sir, sine A by 2 and sine A by 2. So
Yeah.
denominator
Sin A by 2, sin A by 2 will be cancelled out, no?
Yes, sir.
So you can cancel out with this sin A by 2, this sin A by 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is sine of 90 minus theta?
Cos theta.
Cos theta. So I will take this cos A by 2 as it is. I will treat this entire thing as theta. This sin theta can be taken as cos of 90 minus theta. Theta means A plus D by 2. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
So you can cancel out with cos and cos.
Sir, yes, sir.
You can cancel out this cos and cos.
Yes, sir.
So a by 2 is equal to what? A by 2 is equal to 90 minus A plus D by 2. Now this will not work it out, because if you simplify, you are going to get cancelled with A by 2, right? Correct, no? You simplify this,
Yes, sir.
you will
Yes, sir.
you will get an idea.
Yes, sir.
90 minus A by 2 minus D by 2. Split the
Yes,
term.
sir. Yes,
A
sir.
by 2, D by 2. Then multiply minus. Shift minus A by 2 to this side. Or you do one thing. You take out LCM. If this step is little bit confusion for you, take out the LCM and simplify. Better. What is the LCM in the RHS? 2. It will become 180 minus A minus D. No.
Yes, sir.
This 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. So what will be the left out terms? A is equal to 180 minus A minus D. Shift D to this side. So D will be equal to 180 minus A minus A. What is minus A minus A? To A. What is the deviation you got?
So
180
180
minus
minus 2A, sir.
2A. So what is the deviation? 180 minus 2A. So which is the right option?
So D, sir.
Option D. (180 minus 2A). Yeah. Look at this. A ray of light passes through an equilateral glass prism. What is equilateral glass prism? A equals to how much?
60 degree.
Very good. 60 degree. In such a manner that angle of incidence is equal to what? Angle of emergence. I1 is angle of incidence. Angle of emergence means I2 know.
Yes, sir.
Each of this angle is equal to 3/4 of the angle of the prism. Is equal to 3/4 of the angle of the prism. They're asking you to find what is the deviation, angle of deviation. Now, can you tell me the formula for the angle of deviation? What's the formula for angle
So
of
angle of
deviation?
deviation
I1
So I1
1
plus
plus
I2
I2 minus
minus R1
minus A.
plus R2, sir, which is A.
I1 can be taken as 3 by 4A.
Yes, sir.
I2 is also 3 by 4A
Yes, sir.
minus A.
Yes, sir.
So 3 by 4A plus 3 by 4A is 3 by 2A minus A, or D will be equal to A by 2. What is A they have given? 60 degree by 2. What
Yes,
is
sir.
60 degree by
30
2?
degrees, sir.
30 degree. So what is the angle of deviation?
So option D.
It is 30 degree. Yeah. Look at this. They have given the diagram. Look at the diagram. PQR is what angle prism? Right angle prism. This is 90 degree, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the other two angles?
So 60
One is
and
60
30.
degree.
60 and another one is 30.
Another one is 30 degree. What is the refractive index of the prism? What is the refractive index of the prism?
1.5, sir.
Shall we take that as glass? Prism is made up of with glass, let us say 1.5. PQ is a thin layer in the liquid. We don't know what is the refractive index of this liquid. Let it be water, NW. Let us assume NW. That is refractive index of liquid. Light is going to incident normally on the face PR. For this PR, it is incident normally. It is incident normally means, what is I1? 0. R1 is 0. Now it is incident on the another prism. Here the total internal reflection is taking place, no? TIR is taking place, right? Whenever the ray of light is incident here, the ray of light is not incidenting to the liquid medium. It is coming back to the prism itself, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatever the angle is incident here, theta, can I conclude that theta should be more than the critical angle?
Yes, sir.
Because at the angle theta, it is undergoing total internal reflection. You know pretty well the total internal reflection will take place if the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. In this, theta is the incident angle. Since here the reflected ray is taking place, this theta, which is called more than the critical angle. This is the condition what is explained in the diagram. And also look at the diagram. From the diagram, you can tell theta is equal to 60 degree because of corresponding angle. Theta is 60 degree, no, from the diagram.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 60 degree is more than the critical angle. Now, shall I introduce Sine function on both the side. Sine 60 degrees should be more than sine C. Correct? No. Sine 60 degrees more than sine C.
Sine C, sir.
Yeah. What is sine 60? Root 3 by 2. You know what is sine C? It is the ratio of refractive index. Numerator should be water, denominator should be glass, because this ratio should be less than 1. So denominator must be a denser medium refractive index. Numerator must be a refractive index of the rarer medium. So it must be NW by what? NG. Now, can I substitute NG value? What is NG?
Yes, sir. So NG is
1.5. Given no. That 1.5, instead of writing 1.5, shall I write it as 3 by 2?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Now you do the cross multiplication. 3 by 2 goes here. So root 3 by 2 into 3 by 2, which is more than refractive index of water.
Yes, sir.
Or shall I write this as refractive index of water is less than 3 root 3 by 4? Or refractive index of water is less than 3 into root 3 is 1.73 by 4. So NW is equal to, or NW is less than, what is 3.713? 3 3s are 9, 3 7s are 21. It is close to 5.19
Yes, sir.
by 4. Or I can take approximately, this is 5.2 by 4. What is 5.42 by 4? 1.3, right?
Yes, sir.
So refractive index of water should be less than what?
Sir,
Less than what?
1.3.
so
Less than 1.3. It
Yes,
cannot
sir.
be 1.3 or it cannot be 1.4. Look at the option. 1.4 is possible.
Sir, no, sir.
1.3 is also not possible.
No,
The
sir.
refractive
So
index of that
1.2,
liquid
sir.
or water should be less than 1.3.
Yes, sir. So 1.2, sir.
1.2 is
Option C.
possible. So
Yes,
option C is the right answer. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How many identical prisms we have?
Two identical
Sir, 2, sir.
prisms.
2 identical prisms. This is first identical prism. This is the second identical prism. Can you tell me what is the angle of the first identical prism?
Sir, 30.
30 degree. For second prism is also it is 30 degree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now a ray of light is passed through the combination in the position of minimum deviation and it suffers a deviation of how much?
30, sir. 30 degrees.
30 degree. For combining of these two prisms, when both the prism is there, what is the deviation? 30 degree. So case 1, 1 and 2 are there. Both prisms are there, right? What is the angle of the prism when both the prisms are there?
Sir, sir, 60, sir.
Individual, single prism is
Individual
30.
30, sir. 30,
If I
30.
combine both the prism,
Yes,
what
sir.
is the
60,
total
sir.
angle?
60, sir.
For this 60 degree, what is the deviation they have given?
30 degree.
30 degrees, sir.
So deviation is 30 degree. Correct? No?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
which prism is removed?
Sir, the second one, sir.
Prism 2.
If you remove the second prism, let us say case 2. Case 2. Second prism is removed. If second prism is removed, what will be the angle of the prism now for the second case?
30 degree.
Very good. If one prism is not there, then angle of the prism becomes 30 degree. For this case, what is the deviation? What is the deviation? You know the deviation is given by the formula n minus 1 into what? A. For both the case, refractive index remains same. So deviation is directly proportional to what?
Angle of prism.
Angle of the prism. So what is d dash by d? It is a dash by a. D dash will be equal to a dash by a. So what is d dash? A dash by a into d. So d dash is equal to a dash is 30, a is 60, deviation is 30. So 31s are 32s are. What is 30 by 2?
So 15 degree.
15 degree. So it should be equal to what angle if I use
Sir,
only one
equal to
prism?
15, sir. A, sir. Option A.
If I remove the second prism, the angle of the prism will come out to be what?
Sir?
15 degree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall we stop at this stage? We have still some 3 to 4 problems are there in this prism. After completing those 3 problems, in the next session, we'll take up the refraction through spherical surface. After completing spherical surface, we'll have the last part, that is lenses. That is lenses. Is it fine? No?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you comfortable with this today's class? If you have any doubt in the today's session?
No, sir.
Okay, then shall I wind up now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.